Hi, this is James with Northwest Registered Agent, and today we have Kaylee with us. Kaylee, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Today we're going to be talking about non-US residents forming a business in the US. We're going through the process for filing an LLC, the additional federal filings, opening a US bank account, and LLC membership for non-US residents. So we get a ton of questions from people who live outside the US and want to start a business in the US. So what is the process of opening a business in the US like for a non-resident?
Well, you can form an LLC in the US by following the same steps that a US resident might take.
Okay, so where does that process start? What's the first step?
So you'd want to pick what state you'd want to form your business in. Every state has different rules and regulations, so make sure you do the necessary research for that state to make sure you have what you need. We do have good resources on our Northwest site, and there's other resources out there as well.
So after I pick my state out, where does a registered agent come into all this?
So a registered agent is someone who accepts legal service of process on behalf of your company. It's important to have one so that in case you're not at your place of business, you still have someone to accept that important document on your behalf. Not all states require to have a registered agent, but it is always good to have one.
So I have my state picked out, I have my registered agent, and then what comes next?
So you'd want to file your articles of organization with your Secretary of State or the equivalent government agency, because it's not always called the Secretary of State. Keep in mind the articles of organization is not always going to be called that. It could be called a certificate of formation, and every state does have a different filing fee, so that's something to consider as well.
So we've done everything to establish the business in the US. What's the next step?
So you'd want to obtain your employer identification number with the Internal Revenue Service, which is called the IRS, and that's just to make sure you're paying any required business taxes within the US. If you don't have a social security number and SSN, you'd want to file Form SS4 with the IRS by either fax or phone.
So after we obtain the EIN, what comes next?
So you'd want to open a bank account in the US, which can be a little tricky because most banks require you to physically be in the US. But lots of our clients have had success researching online banking. If you have any questions regarding your business needs, though, you'd want to reach out to the bank directly.
One question I have for you, can non-residents of the US still be a member of an LLC?
Absolutely. A member is just another technical term for an owner. Any other non-US resident, living trusts, corporations, even other LLCs can be a member owner of your LLC. But not all states require you to list members on the state record, and that's just to kind of help privacy.
As a non-US resident, here's what you want to do. You'll identify the state you're forming in. You'll be hiring a registered agent in that state. You'll be filing your articles of organization. You'll obtain your EIN from the IRS, and you'll be contacting a bank to open your US account. All right, so that is everything you need to know to open a business in the US as a non-resident. Kaylee, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me here.
If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help.